All right. Welcome everybody. It's Friday Night Comics. It's Friday night where I am, and it's late Friday afternoon where our host is, and it might be even Saturday morning where some of you are. Anyway, we call it Friday Night Comics, so welcome. We also call it the We Believe in Comics Friday Night Workshops at the Sequential Artists Workshop, or SAW. SAW is a 501c3 nonprofit. We have online courses, which you can find at sawcomics.org. A couple of our upcoming courses, Matt Madden's Build Your Own Labyrinth, starts in about 2 weeks. And that is using constraints to free up your creativity, and some figure drawing for comics that starts in April. And you can sign up for those at sawcomics.org. Next week in this slot, Death Doula Lily Harris. She's also a cartoonist. She's been here before. So uh, I'm not sure what that's going to be about. I guess we'll find out. Young in Iran is still being pre-ordered. It's a book about young people, Gen Z, mostly women in Iran. It was finished about a year and a half ago, and we're taking pre-orders for it. You can find it at that link. I'll put it in the chat. It was removed from Kickstarter. I don't want to get into it, but it's a really great, powerful book, and I hope you'll take a look. And I'll put that in the chat. I just want to alert everybody that we're setting in the United States, we're setting our clocks ahead in 2 days. So that means next week's Friday Night Comics is gonna, if you're in international time zone, it's gonna be totally different, or an hour off, but I'm not sure which direction. So please check your clocks. Okay. If you donated tonight or any other time, thank you. It helps us not be a one-way bank. It helps us pay the instructors and helps us make these free. So thank you very much. Encourage you to keep doing that. We're also a nonprofit, and you'll get a donation receipt at the end of the year, depending upon how much you donated. So let's get started. Please no inappropriate speech or imagery. We like to keep these PG-13, especially when we're sharing. Um, you can share on social media. We use the hashtag Friday Night Comics. You can tag us at Comics Workshop. Our host, Cooklin, is Cooklin Comics, I think. I'll put it in the chat. And members.sawcomics.org is another place to share. And in the sharing, we ask you to watch the time. We can only go to 90 minutes, but you can share with in our PDFs, which I'll give some sharing options later. I'll tell you about that later. But in our weekly PDFs, which you find at seesawcomics.org, we post everybody who submits, we post their work into this great little artifact each week. And we've done that for over a year and a half now. All right, enjoy. Cooklin is the author, or CC, as I'm being instructed to use, is here with Manifestations of Love. Cece, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad that I don't know how to stop sharing. Hang on a second. There we go. And I'm going to spotlight you in a second. Is that all right? Are you ready for that?
Yes.
I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad you're sharing this with us. So Manifestations of Love. Yeah, well, tell us about that.
Yeah. So I'll start. Wow, it's been a long time since grad school. I'm trying to remember how to share my screen. Uh,
Okay,
um, let's see. Is it this share button, this big green share button?
that's the one.
Okay, great. Let's see. Okay, patience while I figure this out. Do I have to like do a whole setting thing? Okay,
You
hold on.
shouldn't have to. It should be pretty easy. If that green button is lit, it should be pretty easy. But actually,
Okay.
sometimes people's computers protest. That can sometimes happen.
Okay, weird. Okay. This seems to be okay now. Okay.
Oh yeah,
All right, we can see my
yeah,
Google Drive thing. Okay, great. All right, how's that? We looking good?
perfect.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So hi everyone. So you can call me Cece, but I publish under the name Cooklin, and this is a little workshop I put together called Manifestations of Love. We will get a little bit more into what that means here in a second. But first, I'll just kind of introduce myself. Like, who is this lady talking at you? Um, my legal name is Caitlin Cook, as we talked about, but there is unfortunately a comedian with a lot of Instagram followers with the same name, so I don't go by that name professionally. I go by Cooklin, which is like Cooklin Kate is kind of like my name mixed around. When I was in high school, I had a friend who pointed that out to me, and I thought it was really funny. And so now it's my name that I do comics with. So thank you, Remington, for that. Anyway, Yeah, this is so I do comics, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. And I've been doing comics like seriously for about 5 years now. I did a lot of comics when I was a kid, but it was never something I did like seriously. I did just like a lot of doodles. I had a lot of little characters that I did comic strips about when I was a kid. Um, but as I got older, storytelling is my thing, and I eventually kind of opted for the sexier path of filmmaking and trying to become a big Hollywood director, a female Hollywood director. But so I went to film school, and turns out that's not the medium for me. And so I ended up, I got a film degree, but I got a master's degree after that in mass communication, aka journalism. And that is when I discovered that comics were I had it right the first time. Comics were the best medium for me. And I ended up doing my thesis on the intersection of comics, journalism, and medicine. And so, yeah, this is just a couple of pictures of me. Doing comic things because I love to do vendor shows. I love talking to people IRL about comics. It's better than just the internet, actually talking to people in person. Like I said, I'm based in Washington State, more specifically Vancouver, which is just north of Portland, Oregon. So I'm kind of a Portlander too. And I saw that we have a Tacoma person here. I actually haven't been to Tacoma yet. I've only lived in Washington for about 4 years. But yeah, I love it here, and the Portland comic scene is amazing. There are so many opportunities to vend here. And This on the left is me last year at Short Run Seattle, which is one of the best comic shows I've ever been to. I think Short Run and Cartoon Crossroads are probably the best ones that I've been to. I actually met Tom at Cartoon Crossroads. We did a tour together of the Billy. Anyway, and then this on the right is my table at Reed Zine Fest. Those are just two of many, many shows that I've done. It's just the best. And just to kind of like get into what work I've done, Anna Comics was my thesis when I was in grad school. It was this project that I did where I found people from all over to interview about depression, basically clinical depression. And I would do like these really long, very intimate interviews with these people, and then I would anonymously tell their stories through this kind of like blue avatar. So it's a bunch of short comics adapted from those interviews, and every person I interview is represented using this kind of blank canvas of a blue guy. That was my thesis project, and so I haven't really worked on it lately, but every episode is available on my Substack, which is cooklin.substack.com, and I also have four different editions, zines of Anna Comics. So that's one of the things I do. I also have a couple zines in my little Bad Atheist series, volumes one and two. They're just short comics of me reflecting on my complicated relationship with spirituality. I was raised Catholic. I had an evangelical phase when I was in high school because youth groups are always telling kids that they need to save and convert their friends, and I was one of those friends. So I got converted to evangelicalism for a while, but now I'm an atheist, and I have big feelings about spirituality that I've kind of like tried to work out through comics. So I've done a little bit of that, and it's a subject I definitely want to do a little bit more of in the future. And then, kind of a little bit more why we're here today, asexual stuff. I do a lot of comics. I've done a lot of comics about asexuality. So here are two zines that I've done. Oops, spoiler. Asexual things I did before realizing I was asexual, and asexual things I do now that I know I'm asexual. So it's a series of little comic strips following those prompts, basically, kind of like awkward moments revolving around asexuality. The zines are also distributed by Microcosm Publishing, which is based here in Portland. And that picture on the right was actually taken a year ago today, weirdly enough. Today is my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Shannon. And last year on her birthday, she was here in Portland with me. We went to Powell's Books, which is an iconic bookstore in Portland, and it was my first time seeing my own work out in the wild. So that was pretty cool. That was a year ago today. So my hair was much longer. And then, yeah, that kind of led to my most recent creation, Ace of Hearts, Lessons in Love from an Asexual Girl, Came out in January, and it's a full-length graphic memoir about my experience being asexual, and not just being asexual, not just being asexual, but what it's like to come of age as an asexual who doesn't realize they're asexual. And it also takes a massive angle about love, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about here today. We're going to be talking about a lot about love. Um, so yeah, manifestations of love. What do I mean by manifestations of love? When I talk about that, I'm kind of talking about how we visually convey the abstract experience of love, because we can't see it. It's not something that you can see with your eyes. So how, as cartoonists, the central question of this workshop is how can one effectively visually convey what it feels like to deeply love something? So we're going to be talking about that today. We, of course, have some very classical ways to convey that love is present. Heart eyes, like we have on Sailor Moon right here. That's a very classic way. When someone sees something they love, they make their eyes into little heart shapes. And then we also have a little Sally Brown over here, and she's looking at Linus, and she's in love, and she's got her little hearts around here. So I cite these because they're very classic ways to indicate that love is present. But in this workshop, I want us to think a little outside the box when it comes to that thing. Hearts are fine, but I think I would like us to kind of stray away from the heart eyes that are very, classic and easy to think of, and also like little hearts floating around. I want us to just kind of like stray away from those and kind of think deeper about what we can do to manifest love in our comics. So I'm going to give some examples to get our creative juices flowing. So let's talk about Heartstopper. I love Heartstopper. I'm sure a lot of you all love Heartstopper. If you don't know what Heartstopper is, it started out as a comic by Alice Oseman, and it's about two British schoolboys who fall in love, basically. And it's really sweet. It's now in print, and it's a Netflix series, and it's a very good Netflix series. It sounds like it feels like it is a teen show, but it's very enjoyable for adults as well. I watch it when I'm having a bad day because it's just a feel-good show. Anyway, so there's a particular way that Alice Oseman indicates that love is happening in Heartstopper that I wanted to talk about a little bit. So one is leaves. Alice loves leaves, and particularly in the beginning of the book, a lot of leaves kind of float around in the panels, and it creates a lot of like nice movement, and I love the way I love what it does to like my eyes, like the way my eyes follow the leaves is really pleasing and satisfying to me. But in the beginning of the book or the story when Charlie's falling in love with Nick, uh, there are these leaves that kind of show up, and there's no I wasn't able to find any evidence of like Alice really publicly saying exactly what these leaves mean, but fans have kind of speculated that the leaves kind of indicate that that change is happening, like these strong emotions are happening, and it's all revolving around change and coming of age. Because leaves floating around, we think of fall. Things are changing in the fall, obviously, and so that's kind of it's not just a representative of Charlie falling in love with Nick, but it's also a representative of like first love. I think the leaves represent first love in particular. And then, later on in the story, as Nick and Charlie's relationship blossoms, those leaves tend to turn into flowers. And so, as Charlie and Nick, they kiss and they come out as a couple, things like that. You'll notice that little flowers show up. And what I was able to find of Alice talking about this particular creative choice is so she says, th in this, she's really talking about the Netflix series because I think she was made showrunner on it. She talks about how when they were working on writing the show, they came up with this idea called Heartstopper moments, and those are like the really emotionally charged moments in the show. And in the show, those animations are kind of kept in there. So in the beginning of the show, you'll see leaves kind of floating around the screen, and there are other little animations that kind of show up throughout the show. And Alice talked about how those are supposed to indicate that certain emotional moments are happening, and so. So there's one example. And then the next example, why isn't it letting? Oh, there we go. The next example is my favorite graphic novel of all time, Asterius Polyp by David Mazzucchelli. It is a masterpiece. Um, and if you know this book, you probably know what example I'm going to cite, but it
Mhm.
is brilliant and it is so good. And I just want to talk about it because I teach comics classes here in Vancouver and I always bring this up in the class because it's just so good. Anyway, so if you don't know the book, these are our two kind of central characters. Asterius is here on the right, and his wife and eventual ex-wife Hannah
Mhm.
is on the left. And so this is like what they actually look like, right? And I say it like that because there are moments in the book where Mazzucchelli draws them differently. He has this way of occasionally drawing characters as more less of what they're supposed to look like as characters, but more of what their essences are. And so this is an example of that. Asterius here on the left, his essence, if you will, is light blue and very geometric, right? And then Hannah's essence is this pink, kind of cross-hatched art style. And so the scene where Mazzucchelli depicts Asterius and Hannah but first meeting, this is what it looks like. So he's drawing them as their essences, and so Asterius is blue and geometric. Hannah is pink and crosshatched, and they're meeting, and you can see their essences kind of converging. And then in the second panel, they converge even more. And then in this third panel, they are basically made of each other's essences. And I just think that's a really, really neat way to indicate that, these two people, they are the love of each other's lives, and they're meeting for the first time. And I think it's really cool. So there's Asterius Polyp. And then the most recent graphic novel that I've read, actually, so this is really good timing because it's really good for this workshop, is Love Languages by James Albon. I absolutely adore this book. Shout out to my friends Rachel and Sean for getting this for me for Christmas because they knew I would love it.
Mhm.
So Love Languages, it's a beautiful queer love story. So in order to explain this particular manifestation of love, I have to kind of explain the story a little bit. So, two women in France. One of them, the taller one, her name is Sarah. She's from England. Her first language is English, and she is proficient at French. The other woman is from Hong Kong. Her name is Ping, and she is fluent. Her native language is Cantonese, and she is also proficient in French. Two women meet in France. They both have different native languages, and they're also learning French. They meet and they start having dinner together, hanging out, and they are really only able to communicate
Mhm.
by kind of using French, that neither of which they like they're not neither of them are very good at French yet, and they have their own native languages that they're teaching to each other. And so together they speak this weird little language that is a combination of French and English and Cantonese. And the way that Albon kind of like makes this work in a comic is so he writes like verbatim what they're saying to each other. So like here, Ping is they're talking about babies. Ping is saying Elon, the good life, and so that is French for they have, and then the good life. And so he writes like verbatim what they're saying, but then he has kind of like a comic version of a subtitle, and so he kind of like draws this like little tail, and it has a very particular shape. And so he just like writes like the English translation for whether it's French or Cantonese, he just provides a translation for it. And so we're kind of seeing like verbatim what they're saying to each other. And this kind of develops over the course of the book. For most of the book, it looks like this. But then it comes to a certain point, and this is like a turning point in the book, in the plot, and in their relationship, where
Mhm.
Albon stops writing verbatim what they're saying, and he just gives us the English translation. And so here's kind of a close-up of this. This is the panel that I think like is the turning point in the book. So Sarah says, "But now I feel like I really understand you." And so they're speaking this French, English, Cantonese mixture, weird language that they've made up together. But we're no longer privy to that, basically, because they've reached a point in their relationship where we as the readers don't need to see what they're saying to each other. They are completely like in sync. Um, and here's another example of it. Like these what previously served as like subtitles are just like overlaying the text, and we are just seeing the English translations. And here's a full page panel of them talking in their language. And again, we cannot see verbatim what they're saying to each other, but we do see the English translations. And what they're saying to each other verbatim shows up as like these blue panels underneath. And I think it's just a really powerful way to show that these women are completely in love with each other. Like there's no going back. And um, yeah, like I think it's one reason I think it's beautiful is because like it's showing their private language as private. Like we're no longer privy to it. This is their language and it's theirs and it's their love and it's just really beautiful. Um, so that's love languages. And just a nice little quote from the author, because I do love to include like quotes from the authors when I talk about other people's works. So he said, I do think it's really necessary to the story that they're both women and women from slightly conservative, repressed backgrounds who take a while to realize how they feel about each other. If it were a straight couple, they could immediately understand their feelings of sexual attraction. They could hook up by page 10. Even if they couldn't speak the same language, we'd know what they wanted from each other straight away. So it's a really good book. You should read it. I love it. Um, and then I'll talk a little bit about my own manifestations of love that I did in Ace of Hearts. So, um, in case we're unfamiliar with what asexuality is, because I've said this is a book about my own asexuality. So, asexuality is the A in LGBTQIA. And so there are a couple of different working definitions of asexuality. And the classical definition is the lack of sexual attraction to other people of any gender. I haven't been super shy about my issues with this particular definition. I tend to prefer this alternative definition, which is the lack of an internal need for partnered sex. Not going to get into the nuances there because it's not that relevant to the workshop, but just so we're all on the same page about what that means when I say asexual. So, um, okay, so I'm going to talk about two different things that two different visual motifs, if you will, that I used throughout the story to kind of indicate, communicate different things about love. Because the whole book, it is about asexuality, but it's even more so about love, I would say. So first, we're going to talk about the tree. So this is a tree that was this is the tree that was in my front yard when I was growing up, and I used this tree as kind of a narrative device to make a commentary on love. So let's just like kind of read the part of the book. This is like little. This is probably like page 3 of the book. So it's established very early on. So I'm originally from Nebraska, but when I was 6, my family moved to Ohio. And my parents bought a piece of land. And in order to build a house on that land, my dad had to buy a chainsaw and chop down a bunch of trees. So this is my dad chopping down a bunch of trees. This is him walking around in the woods with his chainsaw. So he's about to chop down this one tree. He's got his chainsaw on. He's about to do it. But then he looks at it and it's a dinky little tree. It's shorter than the other trees. It doesn't have as much like, what do you call that, foliage or whatever. Like it's not as full as the other trees in the woods there. So he looks at it and he's like, you know what? I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to cut down that tree. And so this is the tree that was in my front yard for my entire childhood. I remember one time I asked my mom, why did dad keep this particular tree? And I don't know how true this is, but what I do remember what she told me was he thought it was cute. He didn't cut it down because he thought it was a cute tree and he wanted to keep it. So um, there are ways that this tree kind of subtly shows up throughout the narrative. So this is a scene where I'm about to break up with my high school boyfriend. We're going on one last date, and I kind of put the tree squarely in the center of the two of us. And then after the date is over and we're officially broken up, the tree just completely consumes, it completely splits our relationship in half. Um, th this was a bad relationship. The tree is kind of like, I don't know, I think I kind of think of it in this context as uh, kind of looking out for me, you know. And in this frame, it is splitting me from a relationship that was not good. Um, and so I would love to be able to fully explain how I use the tree in the book, but it would spoil literally the last page of the book. So um, it does come around full circle, I will say that. But as indicated by this text message that was sent to me by one of my friends who is featured prominently in the book, and I sent it to her so that she could approve the way I portrayed our story. But she said to me, "Oh my God, the tree." Because yes, it does come around full circle. But what I will say is that the tree basically represents that even if you're a little different, even if you're shorter than the other trees, and even if you don't have as many pine needles on you as all the other trees around you, you're still deserving of love. Maybe some guy named Keith will decide not to cut you down when he's creating space for his house, that kind of thing. So it's basically a larger metaphor for like if you're a little different, if you're queer, you're still deserving of love, and that's kind of what the whole book is about. The other major visual motif that I use in Ace of Hearts to indicate love and make a specific commentary on love is the cosmos. So, um, before I explain this, I kind of have to explain a Bible verse. So, like I said, I'm ex-evangelical, and there are certain Bible verses that really have stuck with me, even as I have not been evangelical for more than 10 years now. And so one of those Bible verses is Matthew 18:3, and it's and he is in Jesus, said, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." And that is a verse that really stuck out to me after all these years because I what he's basically saying here, and as it was explained to me by like my youth pastors, was like there are ways, more or less, when we are born, we are blank slates. No one is born with hate in their heart. No one is born with toxic ideas in their hearts. Those things get put into us, right? And so one of those things is ideas about love. I think that a lot of our ideas about love are corrupted over time. And so a lot of what I'm exploring in this book is that corruption. And so I use the cosmos as an indicator of that uncorrupted form of love when we're children. So it first starts in this one scene in the very beginning of the book where I'm talking about my first actual crush that I had on a boy when I was in sixth grade. And so I'll just kind of read the scene here. So this is me describing how I felt about him. So I say, I wanted to shrink to a microscopic size, climb into his brain, and just see what was inside. What did he think about? What gave him trouble? What made him happy? I bet it was beautiful in there. And so
Mm.
this isn't something I planned. It's something I just kind of came up with when I was writing in the writing stage of the book. And what it kind of came down to was like, I remember when I had this crush, I wanted so badly to just like know his mind, I wanted to know I wanted to know what he thought about. And I think that within every human being is a whole universe, and so I wanted to know his universe. And so that's kind of what this represents for me is this is kind of the first time I felt like this uncorrupted form of childlike love, and I felt like it was a really good way to represent it by using this cosmos thing. So it shows up in several other sections of the book. So in order to explain this next example, I need to explain another visual motif that I use in the book. It's rough to be asexual and not realize it, to come of age in that form. So when I was like, trying to like figure out who I was sexually, I experienced a lot of like moments that where I felt really ashamed because I wasn't getting it. And so I would have these words in my mind to describe myself, words such as broken, broken was a big one, prude, unworthy of love, like these really nasty words that I had for myself because I was just ashamed of the fact that it was not clicking. Whatever this like sexuality thing was just like not clicking for me. And so there's a scene where I'm breaking up with another one of my exes. um, and so where we're breaking up and my ex asks me, "Can I ask you something?" And I say, "What's that?" They say, "Do you believe that saying that you have to love yourself before you can oh, sorry. Do you believe that saying that you have to love yourself before you can love someone else?" And I go, and then here's the cosmos. Here's me feeling this just pure love for this ex of mine in this moment. But then it starts to morph, and then it starts to morph a little bit more. And then it becomes those ugly words that I say to myself. And so I say, no, I don't, because I'm here experiencing this like pure love, but this love is causing me to feel this way about myself, basically. So I'm saying, no, I don't. They say, okay, see you around. See ya. And so that's how one of my relationships ended. Kind of. Spoilers. Anyway, so and then in order to explain this next example, I have to explain yet another visual motif. This book is filled with visual motifs that represent a lot of different things. So this is something that I referred to as the purple persona. Other asexual people will relate to this probably. So when you're asexual and you're trying really hard to not be, sometimes asexuals have described a persona that they develop as a way to kind of like it's kind of like a mask that asexuals wear to like try to fit in the sexual marketplace that they have no business being in the first place. So th this was my way of visually representing that persona for me. So, this is a scene from the book where I am in the midst of figuring it out. Like I'm finally like starting to confront this weird thing about myself that I haven't quite figured out. And so you can see the fragments of the purple persona kind of escaping me, and I'm chasing after them because it has protected me this whole time, and I'm not ready to let go. Um, and so I'm running and I trip and I fall and I'm sitting there and I'm watching the fragments of this thing that protected me for so long just floating away and I can't get it. Meanwhile, I'm being chased by the cosmos, right?
Mhm.
So it's getting bigger, it's starting to envelop me. And so then I parallel it with this scene of my, at this point, boyfriend, but now fiance. He's looking at me, he's seeing that I'm sad, I'm struggling with this, he's looking over and the cosmos envelops me even more. My fiance and then hugs me. He can see that I'm sad. He offers me some love. And there it is. There's the love, but I'm not quite letting it in. There's space between me and the love, right? So and then, it shows up in other ways too. At a certain point, after the point in the book where I realize that I'm asexual, I kind of combine the ugly words motif and then the cosmos motif for this, here's the actual truth, here's the actual word that describes what I am, and it is big and it is beautiful. And then, during this is the scene where I tell my fiance that I'm asexual and we talk about it, and he says, I love you so much. And here comes the cosmos starting to take over, and it gets even bigger. And then finally, that is the moment where the cosmos envelops me. I let it in, and it gets, yeah, it love is here, folks. So that is, yeah, those are kind of the ways that I've manifested love in Ace of Hearts. So now let's draw. So now that I've talked about a very emotional time in my life, let's draw. So the warm up is I want you all to think about something that you love deeply. This could be a person, a pet, an object, an experience, etc. And I want you to just draw that thing. Just get some practice in there drawing it because spoiler, you're going to make a comic about it. So so just draw it first, I guess. Um, so I guess this is the part where I switch my cameras to my little drawing thing,
Sure.
correct?
I can spotlight that if you're ready.
Yeah, that works for me.
Although we'd have to unshare for net from now. You can go back to sharing in a minute.
Oh yeah, I do have to unshare. That is correct.
And then
Okay.
I'll spotlight.
Okay.
There we go.
Cool. There we are. Okay. Is this working for everyone? The
Yeah.
audio and the audio
And
visual. Great. Okay.
the warm
So
up is in the chat. I
what was that?
The warm up that you had on the screen I have in the chat now. Think about something.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. So think of something you love. Yeah, it could be a physical object, or if it is, if you think of something more abstract, find a way to like visually represent that. I am going to I'm going to make my comic about window cats. So, I was real deep here just now, but I'm gonna go a little more, I don't want to say superficial because my love for window cats is real. But yeah, no, I mean, I recently started a job where I get to walk to work. And so sometimes when I'm walking to work, I pass an apartment building or a house where I see a little window cat, and I get so happy when I see window cats. So I'm just gonna draw a few window cats to kind of get myself warmed up. How long do we usually do these? I can't remember.
I think a warm up can be like 3 or 4 minutes or so.
Okay, cool,
That
cool. Yeah,
feel
so I'm
right?
just draw a little window cat.
I can put a timer on. Would you like that?
Sure, yeah.
Maybe it'll be three, but people can go another minute or something like that. Does that
Cool,
feel good?
cool.
Okay,
That sounds good.
there we go.
It's a little ironic that I'm doing like cats as my like the thing that I love because I currently have my cat locked in a room right now because if I let her out, chaos would ensue and we could not do this workshop. She'd be jumping around and be bad. So there's my first little window cat there.
Oh.
I intentionally made the cat's face very flat because I one thing I love about like sleeping cats is that their faces just get so flat when they're like I'm gonna take a moment to read some of your comments. Is there a way I can download these afterwards? Because I don't know if I'll get a chance to read all of them.
Yeah, if you contact me, I can share it with you
Oh,
afterward.
love that.
Okay, just remind me. I do think actually at the end you also probably could on your own,
Okay.
but we always save it. I lost my pen.
Decouve. I see that, Jen. Yeah, I love the couve.
Hmm. The timer's going to go off in a minute. It's going to make a
Okay.
crazy sound. The sound will be crazy. All right. All right, I turned the timer off. I'll put the chat back on. Um, I wanted to ask something, but I forgot. So, okay, anyway.
Let me know if you remember.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I guess I can probably share again so I can share the actual
Yeah.
prompt. Um, okay, so our actual prompt. Yeah, so take the subject of your warm-up exercise and draw a comic about your feelings of love towards them or it. Use an abstract method to visually convey how they or it makes you feel. So I'm going to continue with my window cats, how I feel whenever I'm walking to work and I see a window cat. So,
Um, all right. Wait. Give me one more moment. Use an abstract method. What were the final words there?
oh, let me see. Use actually I can if it's okay, I can just put it in the chat if that works because
Oh,
I can
sure.
just copy and paste it. Yeah.
Sure. That'll be easier.
Cool. Um, ooh, it's bold for some reason. Didn't mean to do that.
I'll put it in as well. Oh, it's bold on my end too. Cool. Okay. Um,
Awesome. Okay.
how long should we do this for?
Um, What's the, I mean, I guess 20 minutes probably, right? Because we don't you like to have like a good solid half hour to share?
Yeah, I wouldn't go longer than 20. So
Okay, cool.
do you
That sounds
think
good.
are you going to do you have a sort of pattern that you like to use, like four panel, six panel, that kind of thing?
So I'm gonna do like a little kind of five panel situation where I have like a kind of pure grid four thing going on and then like a long one at the bottom.
Okay. I'm starting the timer at 19 minutes 30 since we were just talking. Um, oops, there we go. Do you know do you have your idea already, like how you're going to do it, or is it you just
Yeah, yeah.
waiting for
So
inspiration?
I am going to do a heart thing. Um, yeah. So like I said earlier, like hearts, you can do hearts. I would just like encourage you to stay away from like kind of those classic like that
Sailor
is a
Moon
bad
heart.
eraser. Those like classic like uses of hearts. So I I came up with the cosmos thing because I was really looking deep inside myself, thinking like, how did I feel when I was hanging out with my sixth grade crush? And what came out of that was the cosmos. And so I'm really trying to like look inside myself and think, how do I feel when I see a window cat? And when I see a window cat, I feel really light, like that cat doesn't have a lot going on, it's just sitting there and it's watching and I wonder what it's thinking and like I don't know. It just makes me feel really, really really light. Like the worries of the world aren't so bad, I don't know. So I'm gonna kind of draw myself floating
Oh,
and so I already kind of have like the plan here. So I'm gonna be like walking along here, just doing my thing. I see a window cat and I'm looking at the window cat and then I start floating. And then I'm gonna kind of like use the length of this panel to kind of like I'm gonna draw myself like several times as I like make a little heart shape as I float through the air. So yeah, that's how window cats make me feel.
I just inherited, like, basically yesterday an outdoor cat,
Really?
but they're going to be an indoor cat, and they're already turning into a window cat because we're
Oh,
not going to let them out. So they're just
yeah.
finding all the windows in the house and are very, very
Oh,
comfortably, setting themselves up there. It's kind of cute.
I'm about to move into a house actually. I'm in a tiny apartment right now, but we found a house that we're gonna rent, and so I'm excited because I'm on like the third floor right now. I'm excited for my cat to become like a neighborhood window cat. I think that's gonna be awesome. One time, I was living in a different apartment, and I wasn't witness to this, but my fiance was. He said that when Winnie, that's my cat's name, was looking out the window, and he saw some people walk by and see her, and they were just like, "Oh my God, look at cat!" See, that's that's what I do every time I see a cat in the window. I just like, "Oh my God, look!" And then I say hi to it, and then my fiance used to get like kind of like stressed when I would do that. Like whenever I would I would do this whenever I would see like any animal. Because I would see like a dog in a yard or something, and then I would like walk up to it and say like hi. And then he would get really nervous about that because he'd be like, I don't want the owner to like see you do that and think that you're like trying to steal the dog. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. I just wanted to say hi to the dog, you know?
Do people steal dogs?
Probably.
Hmm.
Yeah, I used to work for the news. There were a couple times when we saw
Oh,
those were my least favorite stories.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, it was the worst. I would get so sad. But yeah. No, I do that with like squirrels too. Like every animal that I see, I like have to talk to. I just love them.
Bonnie says Lady Gaga's Frenchies. Did somebody
Yeah, I remember
steal them?
that. She got them
Oh,
back though, right?
I don't know. my gosh. Bonnie says, I believe her dog walker got shot.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what happened.
oh my gosh.
Talking about some dark things and
I,
and little love-themed drawing session.
oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think the guy like got like I think he went to jail or something for doing that.
Oh my gosh.
I think that whole thing like wrapped up. Yeah, pretty bad. Oh my God. I think I know what you're talking, Fiona. I think I know. Wait, if you're talking about Vancouver, Washington, I think I know what
Oh.
you're talking about. Um, and if I'm right, I worked for the news and I have a relationship with that particular story, actually. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah.
We'll have to do another workshop called Window Cats and Stolen Dogs.
Yeah, for real. That does sound like a T.S. Eliot poem. Yeah, one thing about me is that the musical Cats, I'm a Cats apologist. Speaking of T.S. Eliot, yeah, controversial take, I know.
Like
Nice.
the movie too?
Okay, honestly, like, yes, I know. But I like the musical and therefore I liked the movie. I also am a big Taylor Swift fan and I enjoyed seeing her in her cat
Yeah.
costume, doing her thing. No, well, I remember like watching it though, and like I was in theaters. I saw it by myself because no one wanted to see it with me. And I remember just like thinking to myself when I was watching it, like, wow, if you don't know Cats, if you don't know Cats the musical, and this is your first exposure to it, that is bad. That's
Right.
not, I
Right.
don't envy anyone who had that experience because it is weird. But if you know the musical and you know how strange it is, it's less strange watching the movie.
Okay, I should probably let you draw. There's only 11, 12 minutes left already.
I'm making okay progress, I think.
Oh, good. My feelings of love are turning into a big visual muddle.
Yeah.
So Vancouver, Washington is not Vancouver Island.
No, no, people do get that confused, but no, Vancouver Island is a purely,
That's in the
I
Puget
believe,
Sound.
Canadian
Oh,
entity, I think, right? Um, no, so it's called Fort Vancouver because it
Fort
after
Van.
this guy named like George Vancouver, I think, one of the settlers on the west. And I'm not sure why, because it was the first Vancouver. So sorry, Canada, but we did it first. And I don't know why Vancouver, Canada ended up being named after him. I just know yeah, it was the first. But yeah, I love it. It's a humble little city. I think it has like 100,000 people, which is a great size, and great access to Portland if you ever need to. But it has a really great like downtown association. And I live downtown. And so it just has incredible businesses, like small businesses, and so many good ones to support. There's even a little zine scene over here. There's a couple of people who do this thing called the Couve Zine Swap, and they take submissions for like little mini zines, and you can submit PDFs of them, and they'll just like print them and fold them and put them into like these little like like mini distros around town and like the little businesses. So like a couple coffee shops have it, our record store has it, bookstores, stuff like that. It's really great.
Oh.
Zine vending machine is cool. I would so go for that. Yeah, definitely do that. Definitely look at Vancouver. There's a lot of cute stuff. Okay, now we're getting to a point where I need to rotate this in order to do the hard thing.
Oh, I see. You're a whole motion path of flying.
Yes. Yeah, it'll look better once I'm able to kind of like ink it. I'm kind of like setting it up. No, but oh, I didn't even think about doing it this way, but I should like draw my little feet at the edge here. That'd be
Oh
really
yeah.
funny, which I'm totally gonna do that.
Yeah. Outside. Yeah.
There I go. Bye.
Meanwhile, the window cats are probably thinking about their love of birds.
Yes.
At least mine are.
Yes. Or if you're my cat, food always.
Food outside
Always.
outside the
Oh my
window?
God. No, just generally.
Just
Just
generally
she's
food.
always thinking about food. It's all she cares about. And cuddles. She does love cuddles too. Yeah, she's very, very chatty. She's always just like yelling at me to like either feed her or cuddle with her. It's awesome. Siamese with hyperthyroidism?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Oh, I see. Always hungry. Meow, meow, meow.
So this will look better when I ink it, but
Oh, it looks
yeah, here's
beautiful.
kind of like the rough of it all.
I think that's terrific.
Thank you.
Do you have a sketchbook full of unfinished comics or comics that maybe won't see print or maybe will go
What
see print or
what is in this sketchbook? I'm weirdly drawing a lot in this lined notebook. I actually got it in Ireland when I went to the graphic medicine conference, but you know what, I'll just kind of put it out there. I'm working on something. And I've been using it to draw a bunch of like character designs for my next project.
oh,
Yeah. And I also one time I was bored at work, so I like just started writing part of the script, even though I'm writing the script in a word processor, but I didn't have access to it at work, so I just like pulled out my notebook and started writing pages for the comic. Um, yeah, but I have this sketchbook too. I bought it because I started teaching classes at Clark College here in Vancouver. And so it's mostly I like to do the exercises with the students, and so it's mostly just like me doing
yeah.
the exercises. So like I do that like this is an example of cats again, you guys. So uh the brilliant book Cartooning by Yvonne Brunetti has an exercise where you take like 3 minutes to draw something, and then you take 1 minute, and then you take like 30 seconds, then 10 seconds, and 5 seconds. And so one of those things is a cat. And so this is me doing the exercise with the students. So I do like a more detailed cat there, less detailed. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's filled with the exercises that I have been doing with my students. And one of those things is a self-portrait. Oh, there it is. I'll just show you this horrific
Sure.
last thing. One of those things is a self-portrait, and every time I do it, like the detailed one, I'm always like horrified by what I
Yeah.
come up with. This is why I don't do realism. This is why this is why I do cartoony style.
Yeah, it's pretty spooky, that one. Um, Cece, do you want to do me one favor? I don't know if it'll work, but see
Uh-huh.
if you can raise your Zoom hand. It'll be down below, and it might be on its own icon, or it
Okay.
might be under the chat button or the React button. You might have to click the heart, coincidentally. Um,
Okay. Okay, I see React.
yeah,
Um,
click the heart and see if there's a raise hand. I'm
oh,
gonna raise my hand too.
yes.
Hey, perfect. Okay, that was the easy part. Now the hard part is there's a possibility the Zoom is gonna give you a little caption on the bottom that says, it looks like you're not talking anymore, so we're going to lower your Zoom hand. See if you can look for that and hit cancel.
Lower hand.
No, yeah, but don't do that.
Oh, don't do that. Sorry. I thought you were telling me to do that. Okay,
Yeah, no,
sorry.
keep it raised.
Okay,
Um,
keep it raised.
but it might automatically try and lower it anyway. And if you catch it,
Okay,
catch it. Okay, great. All
gotcha.
right, let's take a look and see what some people did. I'm going to put some instructions in the chat, but I'm also going to share my screen for one moment because we there's lots of tech details to look out. So if anybody wants to share, you can raise your Zoom hand just like we showed CC. And you can usually find that by clicking the heart that says React. We ask people to keep it under a minute to allow to give everybody a chance. But some important technical details, which are that you have to turn some of these things off. Background blur, portrait mode, auto frame my video can be pretty confusing. Center stage makes things messy. So all those things, if you have them on, we might ask you to take them off. Um, all right, I'll stop sharing. Yeah. Meanwhile, we do have some people. So we have Nikki, Walter, Alice, and Alan. So Cece, you're ready? We'll take a look.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we'll go with Nikki. Nikki, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm just coming on
Are you on
screen.
video?
Use camera. Use camera. Here we go. Oh,
There we go. Hi, Nikki.
there we go. It's a bit slow today. Oh, I'm there. So I did I really love the smell of freshly laundered washing. Is that clear enough?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah.
So that was my warm up. And then what I've done, and you can't, oh, so I couldn't find what I normally draw on. So that was my warm up. And then I've got here, I love the smell of freshly dried, sun-dried washing right off the line. And I'm kind of inhaling and yeah, oh. But then I also did the soda wee.
Oh, if I haven't made it clear, I love cats, so I love that.
Thank you. That's me.
Great, Nikki. Thank you. Awesome. And Nikki, check your time zone for next week, okay? Because
Yeah,
we're
I think
we're
it's
tin-
noon. I think next week for New Zealand is noon. And then when our time changes, it goes back to 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so we'll see you next week then. Thanks,
Yep.
Nikki. All right, bye.
Thank you.
We'll go to Walter next, and then we'll go to Alice. Hi, Walter.
Hello, hi Caitlin. We met at Short Run in
Oh,
Seattle,
nice.
and I used to work at Clark College too. So
Oh,
it
cool.
was so great
Wow.
hearing about the Couve today. All right, here we go. So you're gonna get a lot of cats
Oh
today, I
my
think.
gosh, so many cats.
So there's my cat playing with his thing, and I adore him, and that's how I tried to represent it. I just feel like he's inside me.
Yeah.
You draw yourself really well. Like that looked like you.
Thank you. I'm getting better at the cat too. And I'm
I
actually wearing bunny slippers, so that's
love it.
good.
Thanks, Walter. We'll go to Alice if Alice is ready, and if she's not, we'll go to Alan. All right, I think we'll go to Alan. We'll come back to Alice.
Oh,
Alan, are you there? Alan
yeah,
isn't
I'm here.
there
Sorry.
either.
Oh, wait, where's my
Oh,
camera? Was pointed a weird direction. I'm sorry. Camera's kind of in a bad position where I touched the cord. So I did mine on the computer as usual, and I don't know. This one,
share.
I feel it's kind of got really personal today, so hopefully didn't not kind of nervous sharing this, but we'll see. Anyway, so let me see if I can, whoops, Share the screen. There we go. So, sometimes in stories and comics, I put in a character that I think of as sort of a self-insert. And sometimes I give those characters romantic partners. I've never had a romantic partner in real life. I've never even gone on a date. I've sometimes wondered if I'm asexual. Maybe, but I don't think so. I think it's more because I'm gay and was brought up in a very conservative religion where that was vilified, and even if I no longer believe in that religion, maybe there are some effects I haven't fully gotten over. And maybe if I'd been raised differently, maybe I would have had romantic partners. So I wonder what they'd have been like. So I don't know. I guess kind of got personal that time, but it's the most thing to do with love that I could think of offhand. So that's what I come up with. So
Yeah, I like the like dotted silhouette person thing that you're doing over there. It's really good.
Thanks, Alan. That was really great. And you know how to share, but I put that in the chat again, the way to share. Thanks so much. Okay, we'll go to Alice next and then Gabriel. Hi, Alice. You able to unmute?
Hi. Oops.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Something happened. I can't see. Okay, here I am. Okay. Mine's about being a mom. In my first line, I say I love being a mom. And then the second frame, I just said my kids used to be little, and I have three little girls, and I have kind of firecrackers going off because they're just a lot of fun. And then I say, but I see them, and I get a lot of firecrackers when I get to see them, and some hearts. And then I have a telephone wire because we call a lot. And then here are my three girls right here in their full grown-up state, and we still visit and hug, and lots of firecrackers and hearts.
Love it.
Awesome, Alice. Yeah, we're getting all sorts of great examples. Thanks, Alice. We'll see if Gabriel's ready. Otherwise, we'll go to Goody How or Isabel. Gabriel, you coming on? There
Oh,
you are.
there I am.
Been a
Hi.
while. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. It's really nice to be back.
Nice.
Um, so I went with the first thing that came to my mind, which was my wife. So you see, I have a couple of drawings I did of her from memory right up here. And I actually used a technique that I learned in a different workshop that we did once about shape language. In fact, it was probably the first one that I did here,
Oh,
where it's about like circles, squares, and triangles, where it's like circles means safe, rectangles means reliable, and then, triangles means danger. So I did something with the panels, whereas the first panel is just my wife's face
hmm.
in a circle saying, I got you, babe. And then the next one is us holding hands in a big rectangle. And then the last one is us hugging the wall, just free floating. I was actually inspired by the thing about the cosmos that we were talking about before, about how it's sort of like allowing yourself to just be part of the universe. And so this is sort of like the safety that I feel when I'm with her.
That's really sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really sweet. Thanks, Gabriel.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Um, okay, Goody How it says. Hi there. Been a while too. How you doing, Isabel?
Hi. I don't really have anything meaningful to share. I just wanted to say like this prompt is like so good and it's gonna spawn like maybe a whole book for me.
Oh, that makes me really happy. Thank you.
I really liked like I'm gonna have to get your book now because I really liked the way you like all the visual motifs and stuff. Like I couldn't think of anything to do it like non-literally. I'm a very literal guy,
Mm.
but I gotta get your book now. So
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you.
Awesome.
yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
Okay. We'll look out for it. We'll go to David then, Judith. Here's David.
Okay, well, the warm up is I drew my wife, but she's a mystery. She has purple hair. so she's in a maze. We're in our 80s, actually. So, like I say, my wife has purple hair, and she's a professional harpist. She plays the harp. I'm an engineer. Can a harpist and an engineer communicate? Maybe with love.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really great, David. Thank you. I really want to see these again. So everybody share after this. Thank you. Judith is next. Hi there, Judith.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this. Hold on for a second so I can see what's going on. I love to draw.
Hmm.
I love pens and pencils and paper and crayons, and literally that's what my favorite thing to do is. And it happened like this. I learned to draw when I was 3. I broke my bottle. It was in the old days when bottles were glass. And it broke. And my mother didn't want me to have one anymore. And she said, no more bottles. And I was crying and crying. And my father said, here, this could be your bottle from now on. And he took a black crayon and he drew on the wall a huge bottle. And this is what he did. And I watched him here. I watched his hand. This was how the bottles looked in those days. You know, they had the little markers on the side and a black rubber nipple. And he made, I could see his crayon tracing the outline of the bottle. And I saw that he was making it 3-dimensional. And I knew how to draw from then on.
Wow.
And I stopped crying. And now when I draw, I stop crying. It was a really fast thing. I didn't get the pictures in, but you get the story.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much.
Oh, thanks, Judith. Really great. Thank you.
It's a true story.
We have
So if
Aviana.
anybody has young children, they can learn very young, very, very young. I'm not kidding.
Draw on the walls. I approve. Okay, we'll go to Aviana next. Here's Aviana. Hi, Aviana. Are you ready?
It's just a 4-panel thing. No, a 6-panel. It's called My New Alarm Clock. So here I'm sleeping, and then my mom opens the door and she says, Avi, wake up. And I hiss because there's light, and I'm part vampire. And then it says I went back to sleep, and then my cat comes in and is basically my alarm clock, and I'm just sleeping. And he jumps right up onto me and it starts purring. And as you can see, I'm like, oh no. I'm trembling of the cuteness. And he's like, what the heck's going on? And then at the last panel, I go, I can't help it. It's too cute. And then I'm squishing his cheeks.
It's so good. My cat is also my alarm clock. Like I said, she yells.
Thanks so much, Aviana. Fantastic. Okay, Nicholas and Jen. Here we go. Hi there.
Oh, sure. I'll start. I think you're doing your last panel. Let's see if we can see here. So this is my hamster, and he pokes his head out when I come down. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to see him, and then he puts his little paws up against the glass. I love it when he does. He doesn't always, but he really wanted to see me this morning. And whoops, this is showing him crawling up on my hand. And this is me holding him, and I'm so happy. It's the best part of the day.
Awesome.
Mine's a work in progress here. So a few years ago behind my shop, I noticed a chipmunk with a mangled paw. I saw her a few days in a row. I started leaving snacks out for her. One day she came into the shop. Before long, she was eating out of my hand. And I'm sort of using peanuts actually as my little love metaphor. And then the last panel is going to be about how she was gone for over a year, and I assumed the worst. And then she came back last May after having not seen her for almost 2 years, and that I still have a jar of peanuts just in case she comes back anytime.
They can do that? They can disappear for that long?
Apparently.
Who knew?
Yeah.
It was crazy. We had like a little ritual of like goodbye and everything. I didn't know.
Jen actually painted me a little portrait of her, so I have a little tiny like postage stamp sized oil painting of her in my shop. So it was really special when she came back. I actually I cried pretty hard. It was one of the top moments from last year.
Thanks so much. Okay. We'll go to Chris next and then Jackie after that.
Thanks, Tom and Caitlin. I like cats in my pen and my sketchbook. So this is just moments with my cat, and we both might emote something. So whenever I'm sitting down on a chair or something, my cat will sit on top of me. And so this is supposed to be, I feel anchored when the cat's just on me. Even though my chair is floating up, I feel anchored to the ground. When I want to treat my cat, I'll give her a little piece of turkey, and this is just swirls. I feel swirls, and the cat's happy. If the cat gets locked out of my room, she'll just sit on the stairs and meow and meow and meow and meow until I let her in. And whenever I go to bed, she sleeps on my chest and starts purring, and so then I'm emoting some more swirls. Thanks very much. It was really great, but a little bit hard.
Great. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah,
Love
thanks.
that. Love the anchors. All right, we'll go to Jackie next and then Adam. Here
Apropos of this workshop, one of my cats is exiting stage left. Yeah, I went with the cats too. I just wanted some cats to love, and that's me. When the adoption was pending, I knew that they were like my cats because I was worried about them. Like, oh, they're there in the cage. You know, I got them from animal control, so there are tons of cats in cages. But like for some reason, that one stuck out for me. So I went and got some cats to love. And they love each other. They're true siblings, so they're always like boxing with each other. And she's making the stink face. Sometimes I wonder if they love me back because they're so aloof. And there's me like my question mark. But then I wake up and there they are. And they're showing their loved ones purring. The others like making this like if cats squint their eyes at you, if cats squint their eyes at you, they're supposed to mean that they love you. And then I drew them at the bottom. Long John Silver and Boo Radley. And then things I love about my cats. Boo has freckles on her paws. Like I've never had a cat that has freckles. It's really cool. And then Long John's fur is so soft. So it's just kind of trying to show love without being literal.
Super, Jackie. Thank you.
Thank you. This was fun.
Thanks so much. More cats, Cece.
Yeah, seriously. It's so funny how many people did cats.
Okay, we're gonna go to Adam and then Yatsna. Here we go. Adam.
Hey. Oh, I just did a short story. So this is actually kind of what happened to me when I was little. So I just did let's see. Can everybody see that or?
A little washed out, but oh, that's getting good.
Yeah, it's getting better. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So what really connected with me was like an alarm clock and this character right here, because I guess for me, when I was little, like clocks are kind of for me symbolized like honesty, and that was like something that really like stuck with me ever since when I started growing up too. Because for me, like when someone tells you, for me, if someone tells you they're going to do something, that's like showing love for me too. So it starts with the house and he's just waiting, and then it's 8 o'clock and he's happy and his dad comes home. Cause for me it's like I guess he's being really honest. So I guess that's what really speaks to me.
Hmm. Really nice, Adam.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks. I'm going to post again where people can share after the workshop, and we'd love to see these again. Thanks so much, Adam.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll go to Yatsna next. Here we go. Hi. Nope. Can you unmute? Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, I think I gotta ask you again. Hold on. Try again. You're muted. I'm sorry, you're muted again. There we go.
Thank you so much. I wanted to say I love this workshop so much. Thank you, Caitlin. It's given me so much fodder for thought. This was my rough sketch. This is Arlo. He's my godson and nephew. And then I wrote down, the kinds of things that he makes me feel, which is he fulfills every version of the child in me that begged for an animal and wanted one so badly. So I feel like every time I spend time with him, I'm time traveling. It makes me feel chosen and loved. And most things I love, I want to bite or eat and squash. So all of that comes up as well. Once that's gone, he makes me feel playful. And then once that also goes, he makes me feel calm and regulated in my own body. There's no anxious thought. And I have this fierce need to give the world to him. And there's so much kindness and love in his eyes that I just want to protect him and coo over him all the time. And I breathe easier around him. And I just want to eat him up. And I didn't make a comic because it's 5:30. It's now 6:30 a.m. here. So after I wrote down this list, my brain just went, nope. So but I will make something with this, and I love this exercise so much. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been really inspiring, Cece. Okay, we'll go to Bill next. Here we go.
Okay, I still do not have access to my art supplies, but I have another envelope from junk mail. And I just got to thinking, now that you mention it, I've loved all my cats asexually. I love drawing, usually nothing sexual, so I can share with others, which I also love. So I've drawn peace, I've drawn gathering, I've drawn maps, and I've drawn cats and humans together. I'm hanging out with friends, only occasionally thinking of sexual attraction, and then I forget it and just have fun. So there's like Zoom and gaming and gaming. And here is one of my latest cats. Xena is hardly ever a lap cat. She shows love by reaching up a paw, respectfully my space, but being close, unhurried. And that's that. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. And the cats keep coming.
They do. It's crazy.
Okay, we'll go to Carol next. Thanks, Bill. And then we have Isla.
So I thought of my grandkids. This is Simone and Desmond, and my phone is full of pictures of them. So I just drew 2 pictures of myself with them, giving them each a hug. These were right before I left. And I'm looking a little crazed over here. I wasn't looking quite that crazed when I was actually giving him a hug. But I just, the things were like, I'm also pretty literal. So it was, the Nana love. My grandma name is Nana. So their cheeks are super squishy like pillows, and hugs are always yummy like cupcakes.
Thanks, Carol. All right, we'll go to Dr. Bates next, then Bonnie, then Hewitt. Here we go.
Hi, so I thought of my daughter. That's the person that I wanted to draw. So these are a little tiny, but it always lights me up when I see my daughter. And when we embrace, stars form. Even when we don't agree, even when we are apart or don't agree, the stars and the light is still there. We embrace the light, and that's it.
That's beautiful.
It is.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love that you said stars form. I love that.
Mm.
Okay, we'll go to Bonnie next. Here's Bonnie.
So I did one about birds. Oh, I don't even have the blur on, but I guess the background. I'm sorry, everyone. Because I really love birds. Originally, I started with feathers because I was just sitting in front of my feather collection. And then I was like, I don't actually love the feathers. I love the birds. And so I drew some of my birds, and then I have me in the woods, just like I always am. I can't believe that birds can do the spring migration. Like, I can't believe that they can survive in our modern world. And so, like, they always make me cry that they continue. But I love them.
I think those are beautiful drawings. Cece, you work in color ever?
Me? I like to use color in a way where I mainly use black and white, and then when there is color, you know it means something. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I tend to use color.
You'll have to tell us more next time. All right, we'll go to Hewitt next. We have time for 4 more. Hewitt, Christian, Edgar, Sophia. We'll finish up there. Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? So I went for a guitar I inherited from my grandfather, that it was sort of in a rough shape, and so I had to learn how to sort of set up a new guitar. It was like a classical guitar, and how I chose to express love was sort of expression, maybe. I'm just sort of I thought about the old comic El Kabong, where he hits people in the head with a guitar. And I just thought, yeah, that's kind of my mood. Is I like it so much, I just sort of want to smash into it. Yeah.
What is El Caban? I don't think I've seen that. Maybe you can tell us in the chat. You can tell us more about that.
It's like a cowboy horse who he hits people in the head with his guitar.
Okay. Thanks, Hewitt. We'll go to Christian next if Christian's ready. Then we'll go to Edgar and we'll finish up with Sophia. Christian? Christian's there. Hang on a second. We'll go to Edgar next, and then go to Sophia and Christian. Here we go.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. First, that was the cartoon character Quick Draw McGraw, who became El Kabong.
Oh.
But that's from the 1960s. But anyway, thank you, Tom, and thank you, Cooklin, for your prompt. I'll show you what I have. I entitle mine "So You Will Know When I Feel Love." Many people speak about falling in love. There's me and Rhiannon, freshman year in college. Note the Marc Chagall artistic influence above. But noted psychic Joy Talley in Virginia Beach, Virginia, once told me that we should rise in love together. There's X and me in Panama after Operation Just Cause concluded. And we are rising as we listen to Quinta Me by Lucerito and Lambada by Kaoma. I feel as light as a feather. I loved her son and daughter too. Once I knew I was falling in love when I looked at the paper fortune teller that Kay gave me at lunch. And if you all know about the fortune teller, you open it up back and forth and you get a message. And in this one, she wrote, "You have a secret admirer," but she crossed out admirer and wrote friend. And there's my secret invisible tear. And we're at the restaurant having lunch and fresh coffee. But she had changed secret admirer to secret friend. I was heartbroken, but love cannot be prevented from blossoming later. And now you see the couple standing under the moonlight, two are bathing under the moonlight, we recharge our powers that way. So anyway, those are four little looks at love, and so you will know how I feel love.
Wow. Thanks, Edgar. And we recharge our powers that way. That should be the tagline for this workshop, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Well, every week we all recharge our powers with this workshop. So thank you both.
Cool. Thanks, Edgar. Okay, we're gonna go to Sophia, then we'll go to Christian. If Sophia's ready. Here we go.
Hi. I love we recharge our powers that way. That's so good. So something I love other than that is I guess I'm not totally sure how to put this, but I guess maybe like being part of a multitudinous horde, being part of like a group of people. And so this is I didn't do words, and it's maybe also kind of a metaphor in some way, but we have the first panel. I'm walking, I guess like maybe like people and yeah, just like being part of a group of people. So I have the first panel, I'm walking, and here's a little piece of dog poop over there. Second panel, we got like the skyline.
Hmm.
Third panel, I don't know how visible it is, but I think we have like a map, and there's me and like a little line of places I'm walking, I guess. Walking around, walking around. And okay, so here's where the love part comes into it. I think what I was trying to portray was the feeling of stepping into traffic, like a feeling of like love for people,
Mm.
and that it also feels like a sense of like the commitment you owe to other people being like kind of like terrifying and like I don't know, like being connected to like the feeling of stepping into traffic. So here's me. I'm like standing on a curb. Here's my little feet. And I'm stepping. And then here, it's like the light is green and the traffic is going, and there's like a little gasp with my mouth open, and it says whoosh. I don't know. I don't know how much any of that translates, but I don't know. Yeah, like feeling of like loving, like yeah, like feeling overwhelmed, I guess.
Yeah.
An attachment to also loving people. But okay, that's it.
Yeah. I get it. Cece, you get it? It's
Yes.
dangerous,
Yes.
right?
No, we love the metaphor. We love the
Yeah.
metaphor.
Great.
Thanks, Sophia. I'll see. We'll give Christian one last try. Otherwise, but I think Christian just isn't on. I don't think this sound or video is on. Okay. Oh, wait. It says connecting to audio. Christian, here we go. Can you unmute?
Yeah, I'm here. I just got this. Just what I love here. Teddy bears. Plussies. I like plussies.
Oh. Is that the octopus from Octonauts?
No, that's just some octopus I got from over there. Over there. Like pink one.
Well, thanks, Christian. Appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. And hey, Mocha's coming up. All right. So we hope to see you there. Cece, I'm going to spotlight you one last time so we can say goodnight.
Cool.
Wow. Thank you so much. This
This was awesome, you guys.
and kind of deep and a lot of well, first of all, obviously there were a lot of cats, but
Yeah.
there's also a lot of tenderness and some really interesting. I wrote down some like some of those sort of metaphors we had. Peanuts, who knew? Peanuts of all things would
I
work.
love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the anchors, I'm just picking out the oddest ones or the most surprising ones anyway. The firecrackers and the person and the one with the chest open with the cat inside of it. I think it was a cat. Anyway, Thanks so much. Thank you so much. Will you hold up your book one last time and I'll put it in the chat where people can buy it? Do you have a copy of your book?
Oh, me? Yeah. Oh, I can have one in like 5 seconds. Hold on.
Okay, we got 5 seconds.
Here we go. Yeah. Ace of Hearts, Lessons in Love from an Asexual Girl from Street Noise Books. Great independent press to support for sure. Yeah.
My new publisher too.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. So let's see, what was I gonna say? Oh, I put some links in the chat about how to share afterwards because we'd love to see these again. And go buy Cooklin's book. I'm gonna ask everybody to unmute and give you a round of applause. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming here.
you.
And thanks for doing
Thank
this.
you. Bye, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank
you.
Bye.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much for being here, everybody.
Thank you. It was
We change the
terrific.
clocks next week.
Tom.
All right.
It was
Bye-bye.
wonderful.